Today we're going to go through how to create your annotated bibliography. So first and foremost, you are going to need to have open your EasyBib account and also your folder that you have for the class that is like your period underscore your last name first name that has your research folder. So go ahead and you can open your research folder because we'll be using those sources. And also you have your EasyBib account. Now as soon as you open your EasyBib account, be sure you go and you log in and you are positive that you are going to do sign in with Google. Now, because you have your research folder open with your Google Drive, that means that already you were signed in with your Keller ISD email address, which means whenever you click sign in with Google, all of these pieces can talk to each other. So once you have that, you're able to pull up EasyBib and you can find your English 2 research project. Okay? So once you find your English 2 research project, you have your citations that you have that are in your piece that are there, and we're going to go through how to add your annotations to those sources. So first off, for example purposes, just kind of before we get going, be sure that your name is up here, that yours should say your Keller ISD email address, and over here you should have your English 2 research project or wherever it is that you put all of your sources in to be worked on, okay? Now, if none of your sources show up, that means that you are not signed in to your EasyBib whenever you added your sources. So you will just need to go back to your source cards and recreate those EasyBib citations. If that means you need to go back and watch that first video again about how to do this and what we went over in class about 3 times also, please do so. I can't stress to you enough, and I know I do it over and over again, and y'all are tired of hearing me say, be sure you're logged into your EasyBib before you start entering in your citations, but it really is helpful. So to keep going, I'm going to start with my interview. So I have my family interview and I'm going to click edit. And from this citation here, it's going to pull up my citation that I entered in here that I have for that interview that I did with a family member. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just click add annotation. And so that box pops up, and this is where I go to source 1, that one that we did together. And I'm going to highlight my explanation that I wrote at the bottom that follows that C method and copy that and go back over to my EasyBib tab. And then I'm going to paste that text into the box here that I have here, so that now that my citation has my actual interview annotation that goes with it too, that I use the C method on, which is where I gave a summary of my source. I also discussed the evaluation of my source and gave an explanation about how I'm going to use it and how it's going to help me in research. Once I have that, I'm going to click update citation. Now please be aware, once you click update citation, that means that you need to be sure that in this paragraph that you have added that you have capitalization at the beginning of all your sentences. You have the proper punctuation, spelling. Those things do count off, and it is a formal final piece that you have that is in MLA format. So please be sure and check those things before you click update citation. We took time in class to do that last time, to go over and have time to review your sources and your citations and your explanations. So just if you need to check it one more time, be sure and do that. Okay? So then you'll keep doing this for the rest of your sources. So you'll go into your bibliography pages, you'll scroll down to the bottom, you'll highlight your sources that you have, that explanation at the bottom, click copy, go back to EasyBib, click on the next example, and whenever it pulls up with the citation, this is like a database citation, so it'll pull up with it in the box. And then here's where you're going to paste it into that add annotation box so that you have that information in that annotation box, and click update citation again. And then you have that citation now that is in your box, so it is ready to go. So it is very important that you have this set up the right way and it is all in there. Also be sure it's set to MLA 8, okay? Now you have 4 different sources that you have entered into your EasyBib account, and so once you have those 4 citations that you have with their explanations below them too, or the annotation below, you're going to go over here and you're going to click export. You're going to click save as Google Docs or save to Google Docs, and this is going to ask you, okay, are you sure you want to do that? And you say yes, I'm positive I want to do that. And then now it'll flash that on the screen. You have to scroll up to it where it says go to Google Docs. And what this does here is this has a perfectly formatted annotated bibliography that is ready for you with everything correct for your final annotated bib. Your job though here, once you get here, is first of all, don't touch anything down here. It is all correct, so just leave it alone. But what you want to do here is you do want to highlight this portion and change the title to Annotated Bibliography. Once you do that, put your cursor back over here next to the A, click enter one time, use your arrow key to pop up. Then if you don't have the alignment pieces, click more, and it will left align. And this is where you will enter your name here. Okay, so you will put whatever your name, first and last, capitalize your name and your last name because it is important. Hit enter, and then you're going to type in my name, and then you're also going to type in the class period that you were in. We're going to use, I'm just going to put like 2A for this example here. And then you're going to go in and you will put in the date, okay? Now you have two options for the date. You can either put in like the world usage where you have the date, the month, and the year like this, or you can go in and you can add and use like the American version where it's the month, the day, comma, space, and the year. Do not enter in 5-517, okay? Be sure that you do have it written out this way, okay? Once you have this part complete, put your cursor back up here on the first letter of your first name. Click Insert. Scroll down to page number. Go up to where it has the page number listed with this kind of picture that's there that has the page number in the upper right hand corner. Click that. Use the arrow key to go one over. And then you're going to enter in your last name. And I forgot the last name of my example, but I think it's Smith. So we're going to put a space there, and then you're going to highlight that last name, and you're going to change the font though to Times New Roman 12-point font. This is all still a part of your paper, so you can still lose points for this for not being an MLA format if you have not changed that header over. Once you have that complete, click back down your paper, and now you have a beautiful, perfectly formatted that includes all of your citations and annotations on your pages that is ready for you to submit to turnitin.com. So from here, the one last little part we need to do is to change this title here. Sorry, it's going to click over there. So you can call this Annotated Bib, Annotated Bibliography, whichever one that you would like to do. And then click back down here. What you're going to do now is you're going to go to File, and you're going to go to Move To. When you go to Move To, everybody's looks a little different depending on the computer that you're using. If you're on a phone, if you're on tablets, if you're on a Google-based Mac, but it will all give you the option of Drive to move it. Sometimes it'll give you an arrow, which makes it kind of easier to punch through. But either way, you're going to click that you want to go back to your Drive or to your research folder. When it lands in your Drive, it will highlight the piece whenever you find it. And all you have to do here is take this and you can drag it back over to your kind of overall Drive folder here, and then you're able to take it and drop it into your research folder. Just be sure it's highlighted, and then it is in your research folder. So we go to our research folder. Oh look, here's our annotated bibliography that is in the correct research folder. From here, this is where you can go and you can now open up Turnitin.com. Go to Turnitin.com, log in with your information. Remember, I do not have your login information. You wrote that down, put it in your phone whenever you set up that account. If you cannot reach that information, then be sure and click the Forgot Login information to try and help retrieve that information for yourself, okay? Once you have that and you've logged into Turnitin.com, you can click Upload for the annotated bibliography, and then you can click to submit with a Google Doc. And then be sure you get your final step where you hit confirm. You get your confirmation submission ID, which is the way that Turnitin.com guarantees your submissions. And once you have that, you are complete and you have turned in and completed your annotated bibliography. So go through that process. That's how you kind of take your source cards and create it with using your information from your sources that's in your research folder to put it into EasyBib, into the annotations in your MLA formatted page, and then to take it and to move it into a research folder altogether, and then ultimately to submit to turnitin.com for this first major grade of your research. So anyway, hope you already have this submitted like when we went through this in class, but just in case you have this video here, in case you waited to do this tonight, but you have this option for you. So I hope you all have a great weekend.